tuning in to my channel. I am Tenacia Neshae, and today I will be teaching you yet again how to make a pencil skirt. Today we will be coming from the Simplicity pattern number 1559, and we will be making skirt letter D. And I'm excited because we are using vinyl, but this time I will be using the hot pink color, which is so great for the spring and the summer. And as you can see, this fabric has no wrinkles. So yes, that means you can use any part of this fabric and do not have to worry about ironing it. So again, you will need the Simplicity pattern 1559 skirt D. You will need this invisible zipper in the color Red Rose, and it is 100% polyester. And you will need this thread right here, which is similar to the color of the fabric. And last but not least, you will need this curved ruler, which is very helpful when you get to the patterns because it will help you with the curves that you need to make when it comes to tapering in the sides of the pencil skirt. So now we will get started on the patterns. For this skirt, you will need patterns 5, 6, 7, and 8, but today I will be demonstrating off the back with your patterns 6 and 8. And as you can see on this pattern, the green line. And the green line has to be adjacent to the selvage, this right here, which is the side of the fabric that was not cut when bought. And when I pinned my patterns, as you can see, I didn't pin them close to the edge. I pinned them more in the middle. And my client, she's over a size 14, so I had to add 4 inches to the original pattern. And I used this curved ruler right here to taper in the sides. And I did the same thing to the back facing. And to cut, I'm using these fabric scissors right here. For this tutorial, I will be using the Brothers sewing machine, and to do a regular stitch, I will have the stitch wheel located at 10, and for the seam allowances, I will switch it to 14 and get this stitch right here. So again, for a regular stitch, it will be at 10, and for the seam allowances, it will be at 14. First, you will mark where the zipper will end all the way to where your slit will start on the back pattern, and sew it together using stitch number 10. Next, you will take the back facing and sew it to the back pattern piece, and this is what it will look like on the inside. Here is the regular stitch right here, and here is the stay stitch. So these will be sewn when the stitch wheel is on number 10, and this is the stitch 14. So this is how it'll look when you finish the end of your seam allowances. So on the right side of the fabric, this is what it'll look like. You'll have the back facing and the back, and here is the regular stitch, and here is the stay stitch to keep the seam allowance intact. So next, you're going to do the same thing and take the front facing and sew it to the front of the fabric. The only difference is that the front is on the fold. And as you can see, the stitching, it looks the same. For the straight one, you use number 10 on the stitch wheel, and for this one right here, you use stitch number 14. So what you'll do is you'll continue the same thing for the side seams, and just make sure all your finishes are neat and professional. And don't forget the stay stitch to keep the vinyl in place, because vinyl cannot be pressed. So you are going to need a stay stitch to keep the seam allowance intact. Next, you will be adding your invisible zipper, and it will be sewn at a 1/2 inch as well. And make sure when you sew your zipper that the facing seams line up, because you want your skirt to continue to look professional from the inside out. So again, when you sew, please make sure that your facing seams are equal and that they match up, and then you will have a nice, perfect, invisible zipper. Now that your zipper has been placed onto the back bodice of your skirt, next you will sew the facing all around the top of the skirt from the front all the way to the back, and then on top of the facing you're going to create a 1/2 inch stitch. That way now your zipper is at the top of the skirt and it's no longer at a 1/2 inch in. So the second to last step is the slit. So you will need to add a 4-inch slit to the end of your skirt and make sure that it's sewn at a 1/2 inch or whatever amount that your client desires. And lastly, you will need to put a hem all the way around the skirt. And then your pink vinyl skirt will be finished.